Sorry, just trying to take care of some stuff. Get the 2-to-1 chip advantage. We're going to try and just keep pushing our edge throughout this. Play smart hands. Would have been really nice to end it on that 3-3 hand, but obviously can't just make it always work out in your favor. Now he's timing out. We'll take the scummy move of just starting to raise. Although with ace jack, like, yeah, he just got back in time. I should have paused a little bit on the ace jack hand. Kind of a mistake. Min raise here. This is borderline. I'm gonna defend it, but we can easily fold this too and not feel too bad about it. And now we just fold. Jack would have been nice, but we're just so often just chasing that. This is just a pure bluff. I actually would go. Jeez. Yeah. Limp and then this. Like, we're gonna get to play in position. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play in position. We're gonna hit a 5. We're gonna bet really small and get a fold. I like it. Sweet. Goal in this is like just keep winning small hands. I'm probably just gonna check call the whole way here. I expect a lot of checks. Ooh. All right. Thank you. I'm limping to get him to shove. That obviously didn't work. Hey, we got Jim in the chat. How's it going, Jim? We're just gonna keep small betting, trying to get them to, yeah, right. Good luck, us. And they had a 3. So now we're even. Gonna hopefully try and win this thing in the next 2 minutes, so I can start up the home game afterwards. So let's ratchet up the aggression. Hey, Rich. Yeah, we're doing it here. I was supposed to be on the Dash Poker channel, but I couldn't get it working out the right way. It's most for sure something on my end that I'm just doing wrong. I guess I don't really know how the shared stream access stuff all works. So we'll do it from my account. Same experience. I'll be doing the same stuff. It's just that I am not on their account. Home game just started up, so I'm going to try and finish this up here quick. We got 1 min. So we'll just go all in. Just an 8 or a 9. That is an 8 with the redraw. We got him dead to rights. We did it. Good start for the day. Let's get this in here. Just in time for the home game. Let's get rid of this and go with this. GLGL. Good table to start. Got a lot of all these people tagged, so I played with them before. Keto Man plays a lot. John Somsky runs this home game. This typically would be a fold from me, but we'll start off and we will call and then eventually fold. Oh man, like someone has to have something of this, and we just have no hand that can make any sort of play at the pot. So we're just gonna get out of there. King 8, very playable hand with its suitedness, but we'll see what the action does in front of us, because that will really dictate whether or not we're going to be playing this hand. So I'd like to play this. Yeah, this is for sure now a fold. I was like, I think I'm going to fold even just to this 3x. I mean, just this early, the suitedness of this hand made me want to kind of play it. But when it goes raise 3-bet. So this, when he snap checks back, if we see a bet here, like this is almost for sure ace king, right? Like here comes 350 with ace king. Boom! Versa limp. I mean, this is. I'll just let this one go. Kind of want to play that. Thanks, Steve. My dryer did go off. I'm actually gonna step away real quick and make sure it doesn't go off again. Because as long as I keep avoiding it, it'll keep buzzing at me. Steve, unfortunately, has heard that plenty of times where we're recording something and then the buzz goes off in my background. So I missed how this played out, but we would have rivered 2 pair in a relatively small pot, which should have been good. Ace 10, a very playable hand, but also kind of looks better than it is. So over the limp, I'm just going to raise it up, decentivize people from playing some marginal hands, and try and go heads up against this guy. Most of the time, I should be able to take it down with a continuation bet here. With this tank, we may see a lead out from them, of which we're not folding, but we don't feel that great about it. When they check, it gives us a really easy opportunity to c-bet relatively small. So I'm going to go 135. If I take it down here, I'm happy. If I see a turn card, I don't mind either. General plan might be to check most turns. But overall, I enjoy playing in position in this spot. So we'll take the win. Versus 3x, we're just going to call this. If we knew much about this opponent and they were tight, we would actually be inclined to fold here. But I played with them a decent amount. This is just a hand that plays quite well in position when we can kind of dictate how stuff goes. Then they bet pot. Really just makes this an easy decision for us to fold. Versus a small bet, I probably would have floated once. But versus pot, I'm just going to give it up there and not feel too bad about it. I lost 90 chips. So we've had some moving pieces at the table. We brought in Eric Anderson, Mark Bloomberg. Still a tape. We lost Somsky. He must have just been moved, though. Late registration goes for 40 minutes in this. So when people re-enter, they are always balancing the table. So the table that you start with is rarely the table that you continue on with. 6-5 off for this under the gun open. I think this might be a little bit looser than most under the gun opens, and even with the call behind, I'm probably just gonna fold this. I'm just kind of shooting for too much by calling. Okay, this makes it super easy to fold. We'll see what the flop comes, but I'll make a prediction on who I think is going to win the hand. I think Mr. Diz Rich is going to end up winning this one. Seems like the safe bet, but this 3-bet that he had should be heavily weighted toward ace queen, ace king, queens, kings, aces, so on and so forth. This should just smash his range. Interesting call from Eric. We're essentially in who wants to put all their chips in the middle to try and win it. Really interesting turn card and then river. So when the turn card comes, that makes me think he's got something like kings. The 4-5. Just persistent with the 4-5. Rich is in the chat. I'm gonna guess he had king king there. We'll see how right I was. We saw a limp, re-limp. If it's another limp or a fold, I'm gonna just complete. Hopefully, see a flop with this one, but I'm not too attached to my hand. Anything happens, put in more chips, I'm just gonna be out of here. And even on the flop, I'm gonna be playing quite passive. Oh, Rich had the king. King. We called it. Sorry, Rich, about the hand, but we're spot on. We're 2 for 2 on our reads. All right, we're just going to get a timeout. So we'll just click the call 15. Once he folds, we'll call and it'll be on mark. Oh, this is dangerous, right? We're going to lead out, but we're not too attached even to just our king here. A very quick call from Bloop. I feel like I'm ahead. However, I do not like that turn card. Yikes. Yeah. And then it checks through. I guess I check again and call a bet. Like, I feel like I have the best hand, but there's so many other hands that beat me. I don't want to call a big bet. Heck, someone could have a king that's better than mine, yeah. I'm hoping it just checks through. I'm not too worried about Eric's hand. Oh, that might be the one person that I call. If Roadstar calls, it's actually a pretty easy fold for me to make now. So I essentially have a bluff catcher, right? Like everything that value bets beats me. But I'm trying to figure out what he checks turn with. I feel like a lot of people, when they hit their hand, they don't check turn. So I'm going to call. I don't feel good about it. Yeah. Again, the 4-5 suited from him. He just loves that hand. I expect a lot of bets from that hand specifically because it's so vulnerable. I don't like it too much when people limp, so I like to isolate. If he's limping hands like 4-5 suited and stuff like this is just doing so well versus that limping range. So we're just going to make him pay more to play those hands if he wants to. So Keto joins us. He's going to have the second strongest range behind us. We obviously don't have like that exact strong of a hand, but having a suited ace is good for us. So Keto is the one I'm most worried about. Roadstar likely doesn't have that great of a hand. If their positions were flip-flopped, I would actually check here. But if I bet, I can put pressure on Keto because he's not going to know what Roadstar is going to do. So I'm actually going to put out a... Whoa. Smallish continuation bet with the hope that he's kind of concerned about what Roadstar has and he won't float me too wide. If Keto raises, I am toast. So, yeah. He does make it small enough for me to have some odds here. Which actually I'm going to call once and hopefully hit a jack or a club. But otherwise, we're just going to be getting out of the way after that. King is terrible because when he raises, that's what he's representing. It makes it a little bit less likely for him to have a king, but if he does have a king, I'm in terrible, terrible shape. Yep, so this is it for me. You just get out of the way. So we're in a bad position to start off, but we did outlast Steve. Steve was our 48th place finisher, or 49th, or something like that. Jack 4 is just not good enough. I want to play hands, but I'm now at the point where I should stop horsing around and actually play good hands. All right. At least easy decisions. So far we've got 51 people in the tournament. JB has got triple starting stack already. We've seen Eric Anderson running it up with his 5-4 suiteds, hitting 2 of those. Rec Poker Steve is already out. Myself and John Somsky also bringing up the tail end of this. And that's it for the Rec Poker core team. So I'm not sure how this played out, but it looks like it went open call, but very well could have been limp raise call too, because we know Roadstar likes to limp. Keto putting on the pressure. We should see a lot of folds here, I would guess. But no fold from Roadstar. Pot size is a little tricky here for Keto, because there's 17 in there, 24 behind. So you can't really go all in. It's a little bit beefy of a bet. But he elects for the check route, which is totally fine. He can go for a half size pot bet on the river for value if he wants to. Or he just may be giving up on his bluff attempt. Get a call. There was a jack, and I'm going to guess a king from Keto. So they're both hitting their hands. Be nice to hit my hand. Get an all in. Good luck to Mr. Diz. And a very, very tight fold. When you open to 2.5x and someone's got, 10 bigs, you're almost always calling in that spot. Kind of interesting to see a raise and then fold. See, when we see this and this, like, this is always calling, right? Like, this is never going to fold. Wrong again. Really surprised by this and, like, the sizing that people are taking. This is interesting just from the fact that this guy is sitting out. But we're kind of in a spot where we don't really want to horse around too much. Losing, 2.5, 3, 5, 6, whatever big blinds, it's pretty detrimental to our stack. So we're just gonna hold on. Really surprising to see those plays for both Eric and Keto. To see, a 2x, 2.5x open, and then even like a 4.5x open or whatever that was. open and then a fold to a shove. Great spots for Mr. Diz. I mean, he obviously wanted a double up, but to take down those pots without contention, essentially win it 100% of the time, is a great result. See, this would have been like one of those icky spots where you're like, I've got a gut shot, but I don't really want to play it too much. Bricks has got to decide here, do I want to play for all my stack? So Keto can actually go a lot smaller there, and it puts on the same amount of pressure as a half pot size bet due to how many chips Bricks has. So they went half pot. They could conceivably go like 30% there and get probably the same amount of fold equity because they're almost always just making a decision. Do I want to play for all my chips this hand? This is just so ugly. Like, I'd love to... Oh, okay. No, I'll get out of the way. We probably see another fold here because we saw this last time. Yeah. Seems to play tighter versus shoves. So I will note that. Limp makes it appealing for us to just play along. We could get spicy and raise here and try and take it down, but I don't think we... people like to just play hands. So another king high flop. We're going to lead out again. We'll see what happens this time around. So I'm tempted to just shove. What is the most likely hands from Bloop? It's a king or a flush draw. I guess we're not that upset with a flush draw, so maybe we just keep betting and make it so they're kind of incentivized to call any sort of river shove. Okay, so we chip up a little bit. That's good. Actually kind of surprised to see how they played that to snap call right away and then fold on the turn. Like, to me that says for sure flush draw, but seems a little off. This is a great spot to like 3-bet or fold. If I 3-bet, I'm going to like 500, which is a third of my stack. I don't really want to do that at this point, so I'm actually just going to fold. Yeah. Saved. So we would have hit an ace, but who knows if it would have been good is the question. Just an overbet jam. I was about to say I wouldn't doubt if this is a big pocket pair that's not an ace, just from like how it's played. I see so often people do that, and it's so bad to do it. I can't believe he called with just an 8 there. But potentially had the same read that why are you shoving over pot if you actually hit your ace? So it's so often like, hey, I've got this good hand, and then you see a flop and you're like, damn it, I didn't want to see that flop. Well, I'm just going to shove and try and win it here. And more often than not, it bites you in the butt than it pays off. This is usually a absolutely terrible flop for my range. I don't think Eric plays too much of like range versus range type of stuff, but like most people, like I'm happy to just continuation bet this and like get stacks in. I have a feeling he's just going to be calling a lot. He's going to have a lot of draws. All right, we're just going to get it in. Hope for the best. Good luck, us. Perfect. Great. Kind of surprised to see that level of spiciness out of him. Um, I've pegged him as a little bit more passive of a player. So when he takes this check raise spot, which is a like that board is great to check raise me, which is why I said like this is an excellent like board for my exact hand. Because it should never hit my range. It's really that one specific part of my range that it actually hits. Um, but for him to call it off then once I jam all in is kind of interesting, especially when he just has the runner draw for so much of my range that is getting it in there. Like I have over pairs and I have top pairs that are willing to get it in. So again, like this is that same type of board texture. So I'm like most of the time it just doesn't hit me. I'm gonna play this like face up and just check. 8, 9, 10, kings, aces, queens, like all benefit me. Fours do not, so I'm probably just gonna see a lead out from them and a fold from me. But when it does this, I'll gladly take a river card. I'm actually probably good. I'm just gonna check and just win. Yep. He had his opportunity on the turn to bet out and win the pot. But when he didn't and that river card came out, I was most likely calling any bet he made. Because the check on the turn shows the most weakness, and then when the river card changes absolutely nothing about hand strengths, meaning if you were winning on the turn, you're still winning on the river. Nothing flip-flop to all of a sudden be a better hand. Like an 8, a 9, a jack, anything like that changes the dynamics enough that I would have folded to a river bet on those cards. But when it pairs the board, it would have been an easy call for me to make, I think. And when he checks, like I still lose to some ace highs, and I realize that, but so many other hands that he has, I'm still beating. So we made our comeback. We had just under 1,500, and now we got 4,200. We're back up into 13th place. JB still up top. We put a dent in Anderson to bring him back down. Poker Geek has not made the turnaround that we have. So I think we saw bet, raise, call. This should be another bet from Keto, I would expect. And likely an all-in from Keto and a call. Just based off how it played out this. Check, check. Everyone's quiet in the chat. Say what's up. How is everything going for you? Who's going on vacation? Because I am 12 hours away from leaving for vacation. And I can't wait. I have my last fantasy football draft this Sunday. Excited for that. 50 people. We've gotten 59 entries so far. I'm always surprised by the continued activity in the nightly games. For us to run it every single night and still get 60 people to sign up for a free poker tournament. It's pretty exciting. Keto's taking some really big sizing. I don't mind it too much when he's short stacked. He's essentially saying, hey, I'm all in without actually going all in. But when this happens, he's got to go all in. So, could he get the royal 10 of clubs? Oh, no. Just wins the hand. I mean, still wins the hand, but we had a royal sweat. We had the royal sweat. This is a big shove. I mean, 23 bigs. I think you should be open shoving from like 15 bigs with some of your hands, but with 23, I don't think we should really be open shoving. Okay, I was like, this is a really appealing price to call 550 with king high even, but when it's another min click back, I'm just gonna fold. The ace always comes. Nice hand bricks. Staying alive. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So I'd want to play this hand, but effective stack size makes me inclined not to, because I want to get, you know, straights and flushes with this type of hand. Okay, all right, we're just gonna avoid everything as it relates to this hand. But when, you know, it's only 1200 behind in terms of potential win, to call 250 to win that, like, we have to be winning or hitting our draws, or at least a hand a decent amount of the time for the right implied odds. But when it goes 3x call, 3 bet, yeah, just get out of there. Interested to see a 3x and then a fold, especially off of 15 bigs. And this, like, this is always getting in, right? You can't put in 60% of your stack and then fold. It's just, don't do that. Don't do that. You're talking yourself into calls that you shouldn't be making when you're doing stuff like that. Because you're looking at that spot and you're like, you know, I only have to call this much more. It was 1100 something, and you put in 300. It's only 800 more. But you're only going to see 3 cards. Either put it all in and see 5 cards, or don't put in the extra 800. Maybe don't call the 300. Don't do this with marginal hands. Like, when you're short stacked, you can't make marginal calls. Sorry if you're watching, but like, it's a leak. Stop doing that. You're gonna be much more happy with your play. Just the bluff. Oh, such a pretty hand. I will call this. I'm not afraid to go for this. This I'm not even like that concerned about. If it folds to me, I might re-ISO and try and get Keto to stay the F away. Yeah, I think that's the plan. So we're doing this not because we have a great hand, but just because we want like these two to be de-incentivized from playing. Also makes it harder for Mr. Diz to keep playing, so we're just essentially gonna like push them away and try and get heads up versus Roadstar here. Please don't tank and do this, because then we're in a bad spot. I'm gonna call. Just a king or a queen. Just a king or a queen with no spade. Or a jack, king, queen. I, if you have ace-3 there, just get out of the way, right? Not really worth it to play there. This is a borderline hand, but we're going to call. Or, sorry, raise. Just because the effective stack size is so short. When effective stack size shorter is, you can loosen up a little bit because everyone has to play a little bit tighter behind you. I don't want to, but I'm priced in to call him and likely call versus bricks. But again, like I said, like we can open up a little bit when the effective stack size behind us is shallower. If he didn't limp, I would have opened, but that limp actually pushes us out because then we have to make a bigger raise. They're more inclined to call. Everyone else is slightly more inclined to call. Would have been really nice to win that king-queen hand, because that would have been another 4,000 in our stack. Would have put us in a great spot, and I forget what the odds were. It's coming up on the stream here. I can figure out what my odds were, but versus ace-3 and ace-9, I think I'm the slight favorite pre-flop. So we'll see what the actual odds say. Fold this. I mean, you probably saw it when it was going, but I'll just double check to make sure. And Bricks is out. GG Bricks. 45% pre-flop. Yeah, we were in excellent position there versus those exact hands. Granted, you're not always up against those exact hands, but to win that 45% of the time is a great spot to be in. We just didn't hit our 45%. They hit their. Someone must have like 30%, the other like 20-some%. Just bad enough for us to not have any interest in playing this. Blech. So 60 people entered. Registration ends in 2 minutes, so pretty soon it'll be entered, but I'm assuming we'll stop at 60. We've already lost a fourth of the field, 44 left, and we're in 31st. Still a ton of play left. Big blinds at 100. We've still got 23-ish bigs. If it folds to me, I'm going to elect for the min open and play hands versus them. Be in position, hopefully not have to call a jam. Versus jam, I probably should be folding, but I don't really want to have to face that decision. We're just going to continue. I want to get it just slightly above what my open was, but continuation bet should work a decent amount of the time here. And we get raised. We saw him check raise us with absolutely nothing before, but we just don't have any equity to actually play this hand. We'll let him take it. We still have 19.5 bigs, plenty of play, but if that continuation bet works out half the time, we're just printing money. trying to figure out what I want the action to look like. I'm torn between jamming and just raising. I'll just raise. Knit. What is the knit? Oh, the big blind defense. Thanks, Chris. You can earn yourself a timeout if you keep talking like that. Okay, this is great when he folds. Just hopefully hit our hand. There it is. Sorry, Mr. Diz, but I prefer when chips are in my stack instead of yours. GG, sir. Fair fight, at least. It was a fair fight. Mr. Diz, don't worry about it being your worst showing. I mean, like, if you're worried about like, hey, I didn't make it to top 50% of the field, that's usually what your concerns should not be, right? Like, you had a good spot to 3-bet right away. It just was unfortunate that he had 4 or 5 suited and hit 2 4s. It sucks to see it happen, but it will happen, right? So just take it, fight, keep moving on, try and do better every time, but know that you won't be doing better every single time. Well, this was getting in regardless. Sitting out. They were playing hands and then started to sit out by the chip stack that they have, so they might be coming back. And there they went. Easy fold. Oh, Chris just wants his timeout. This is just a bad hand. Get the nits out in chat. Chris, full authority to call me a nit for folding this. I'll let you have it. Reasons for not playing the button: 1, bad hand. 2, effective stack size. Like, I want to be playing versus these small stack size. 3, my actual stack size. Like, I really don't have that much playability. And we would have hit a jack. Whatever. Timeouts are Chris Jones's bronze pins. That's great because he's got one of each. 1 timeout for me and 1 bronze pin. Congrats on both of those, Chris. You deserved both of them. I mean, in hindsight, wish I would have played that with my top pair, but still not upset. This is a little bit more appealing to play. I'm probably just going to min open, fold if I get jammed on, although I really don't want to get jammed on by Stitch Man, because it's only 1,000 more, and then it's, you know, like the odds that you'd really like think about calling. And then if I call 1,000 more, I'm left with 1,300 afterwards. Really hoping to see a fold from him because every other decision that I have is pretty easy. Call's great. I can apply pressure if I want to. because it's going to be a pot-sized bet left in his stack. Really good raise from Illy, but I think they have it. Just a really good squeeze spot from them. Oh, and he had a bad hand too. I really wanted to play that versus him because position doesn't matter in that spot. It actually slightly benefits me, I think. Limp jam. Not sure why, but we saw it. Stitchman is out. GG. Spike a jack too. Yeah. This is borderline. I'm going to jam. It's probably incorrect if we look at the ranges, the push-shove charts. I think this is a fold. But we're going to push. And we're going to be toast. Ace. Ace! Boom. I'm too good. Too good. Give me that double. I feel bad for that. Kings. All right. Get the luck boxes out in the chat. I'll allow the luck boxes to come out now. Hashtag luckbox. We did it. We did it. Can I like hit myself with something? No. Big oof. Yeah. Sorry, dude. Those feel terrible. Last night I got it in 10s versus ace-5 off, and flop was an ace and a 5. So get it done to you one night, you rebound with it the other night. For 10, 11 bigs, I'll make the fold here. But having an ace there is nice, especially versus a late position jam. We'll let him have that one, but I don't like folding that. I think I'll just call here. I think JB's gonna call or check behind a lot of the time. Yeah, they were ready to check. This hand is great for myself and JB. Or this flop is great for myself and JB. I don't really connect with it exactly. But Carl's limping range shouldn't hit this too much. But so often we just see a check bet and then folds from us. So that's how it'll play out. Knit. Knit, 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 knit. This I might play. I think we see Eric Molina jam here a lot. Yeah. I can't, dude. I can't. I want to. I wanna. I wanna. Ace nine, ace jack. 9 hits. He stays alive. King 8. Probably should be a fold here, but I'm going to widen my range slightly. Do the people at my table? 9s are hot. Hit my 8. Double gutter to a straight, but it's going to put a straight on the board for everyone else. This is a really weird lead from them. I'm hoping to hit an 8 or a king. I think they lead with 9s and flush draws. So I'm going to call there. And then obviously jacks and 10s. Jacks and 10s should now slow down with this ace. Flush draws just get there. 9s have nothing. I check here. There's merits to betting to try and get a jack or a 10 to fold. I don't know how often that actually occurs. And then they can be checking to trap with flush draws. So we'll check. And it's a very interesting river. They jam. Why couldn't this be the king of spades, right? So, I mean, we only lost 2 bigs extra. I'm not too sad about that. Because it was 150 they let out for 2 bigs. And then I went check, check on the turn. We got to see all the cards. I think a river king I call, river 8 I call, and that might be it. Getting all in. Really good spot over a limp and a limp to jam here. When we get 2 calls, it's really interesting. A fold, jeez. JB's a little bit more of a passive player, which I'm going to call and see a lot of checks, flop bottom pair, and lead out. Because we just deny equity from everything that's got overcards to this and win a nice small pot. This is a really weird sizing. All right, 5-minute break. I am going to take this break quick. I'm going to go refill up my water. I should be back in probably 2 minutes. So stick around. Oh no. Eric Molina's going to see that I didn't actually have ace queen there. That was a bluff from me. I did have a queen. I must have got back in less than 2 minutes, but 3 minutes on break here. Let's check out the tournament. Oh, so we did get 2 more after I said, hey, we're not going to get any more entries. We got 2 more entries that showed up late. We have seen 25 eliminations, 26 eliminations, 36 people left. We are in 23rd place with 4,000 chips. Average is 5,000. Blinds are 1, 2, so we have got 20 bigs. A lot of play left. Double bumps us up into like 5th, 6th place. Yeah, we're not doing too bad. Low turnout from the Rec Poker crew. We got John Somsky, took 49th, and 60th was Steve Fredland. I marked the core people with orange. Two Canadians left, Fergie and Evil Roy. Oh, and Witchy Stuff, 3. Hopefully we can knock out some Canucks. But we're not doing too bad. 20 bigs. Right in that meaty middle part of the crew. This is the time to play smart. Short stack poker definitely just favors smart decisions. And then getting lucky. So we probably got about 90 seconds left before it starts up here. Just hang out. Take it nice and easy. Relax. Everyone else is probably taking their 5-minute breaks. Within a minute means within 60 seconds. So we'll just chill. Well, we've got it. Let's can we see how the No Limit series went last night? I busted pretty early, but okay. Got some good people at the final table, but no one really earned too many more points than me. Is this the point thing? Let's I think the tournament's back on. Okay. He's got pocket twos. All right. He lied. And he gets the double. Where's my... You want to zoom in on this. So we got Chris Jones in first place. I moved down a spot. Still a seventh. I have... how many points behind? I've got 187. First is 204. Oh, wow. Chris busted right after me, so he only gained less than a point on me. Oh, man, this is going to be such a tight race for Player of the Year. I love it. I will fold here, too. So here's the Player of the Year stuff. So I'm right here. There's a significant gap between myself in 7th and then 8th. But man, such a tight gap. This 27 points. No, 17 points between me and first place. Can definitely do that. King Queen, I can play this hand. We'll do a min raise. Let's get rid of this nightly series stuff. Pretty atrocious flop for us. I think I still like a continuation bet because of all the hands that they call that we're beating. No, I think I'm going to check just because we want them to have hands like Queen Jack, King Jack, which might call. So I'll check here. Not really a huge fan of it because when they lead turns, we're probably going to have to fold. I think I just check again. This is kind of the same spot that we played earlier in the tournament with King 10, and you just check down and 1. So I'll just check here. Queen 8. All right. 6 deuce. Fold. I'll be right back. Just a quick 30 seconds. It was a really good spot for us to be in to get Queen 8 to call our King Queen. They hit a pair we didn't, and we just checked down and lost the minimum. So I'll call that a win, just because every other time, like say a Queen comes out, we just get a ton of value from them. Interesting. Ooh. big hand there. All right, everyone, just stay away. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, we'll just give this up. No real reason to fight for it. So not a great start after the break. To lose a hand, then go through the blinds without really getting anything. Even if it folds to us, you just have to step down, not play much here. So we'll just wait, try and get a good hand. Till then, just be bored. Could have gotten a turned straight draw and a rivered straight. Gross. So I mean, we went 100, 200 to 125, 250. So it's going up quick. Less than a 10 big blind shove, but we still can't call with ace 5. Maybe we should have. Oh, we for sure should have. Well, would have just chopped. Everyone loves a chop pot. Well, this hand is strictly better than pocket fives. Strictly. Uh-oh. Last time they had kings. Wow, 7-8. There's the 7. GG's. And we're out. If we get called by 7-8 there, we're shoving so many better hands that just crush 7-8. So, all right, dude. Guess you're just upset with my kings, or me beating your kings, but that'll be it for me tonight. Just got in just over an hour of poker. We finished in 31st place, exact middle of the pack. I couldn't get much going, so we're gonna call it here. Hopefully we're back next week. We're gonna try and do these Twitch Thursday things. Hopefully on the twitch.tv/poker channel instead of my channel. So until next week, peace out.